Let me be very honest with you. Some of you have been using past questions in the wrong way. You begin to flip from front to the back and from back to the front. You buy a past question series, and then all you begin to do is to check the past questions. You open to the back to check the answer, and then you tell yourself that you are prepared for the WAEC examination. I want to announce to you that what you are doing is not reading, what you are doing is not studying. You are only deceiving yourself in a way. You are only trying to satisfy that fear that has lived within you, that you need to read and you need to prepare for the JAMB examination. But today, I am going to be telling you proven strategies on what you can actually do to get nothing less than 300 in your JAMB examination. So if you are ready for this, I want you to follow me. You're welcome back, everybody, to Illuminated Minds YouTube channel. My name is Ayorinde Samson Oluwatobiloba, and I am a fourth-year student of Ekiti State University. I want to tell you about some of the things you can do to actually score nothing less than 90 in your JAMB for literature in English. Now, follow me, and what shall you do about this? I need to tell you that in literature, when it comes to literature in English, your knowledge is not just to be tested about the summary of the book or about the plot of the book. No, what they want to test is your depth of knowledge on each of these books. They are not going to be asking you about summary or anything like that. They want to know how far do you know about the theme, how far do you know about what the author is trying to communicate, the lessons, the subject matter, the themes, the characterization, the in-depth meaning of the novel. How far did you know it? These are some of the things that the examiners actually want to test from your knowledge, and not about the summary of the book. The first thing you need to know is how JAMB thinks. How do they set their question? That is one of the usefulness of the past questions. You want to check year by year, what do they often ask? How do they set their questions, and not about just checking questions and opening to the back to check the answers. So now, anytime you pick a past question, what you want to check out from it is look at the passage carefully, look at the literature carefully, and ask yourself, what is this question actually trying to pass out to me? Are they trying to ask you about the theme? Are they trying to ask you about the characterization? No. Is it the figurative devices? Know exactly what is being requested of you first before jumping to the answer. So you really need to read it calmly and very well. Make sure you understand what is being requested of you. After understanding the question, what you need to do before providing an answer is to go back to the text. You want to know, you want to probe your answers whether or not they are correct. How you are going to know that you are correct is by going back to the text. So if the text actually acclaims or acknowledges what you think is the answer, then you are correct. So you cannot pick an answer from literature outside what is in the literature. Alright, you have to go back to the text to validate your own answer. Now, literature in JAMB is actually very predictable. You can predict it. Why? Because they repeat questions and patterns. They repeat patterns year after year. That is one of the usefulness of past questions. When you read it, you are not reading to look at questions and get the answer. Rather, you are trying to look at the patterns. One thing about JAMB literature, they repeat patterns so much. So check out for the repeated patterns, how they have been asking their questions continually year after year, and how these questions have actually been programmed and asked from the subsequent years. The students that are scoring better than you in literature, they are not reading more text than you. They are not reading extracurricular or extra linguistic text than you. Rather, what they are doing is to understand what the examiners are actually searching for. They want to understand what is my examiner actually requesting of me. That is what is making them to score more higher or more higher end than you do. Here's what we are going to do. Never move past a literature question in JAMB without understanding what the question is requesting from you, without understanding the reason why the question is being asked or what is actually being requested of you. From now, anytime you pick up a past question, ask yourself, what is this question actually requesting of me before jumping to any of the answers. Don't skip any question. Know the meaning. That is one thing about literature, the deeper meaning of what you have been asked. This will help you to be able to probe your answers and provide the correct answer. I hope you get what I'm saying. So any text you want to read in literature in English, what you need to do is to pay attention to the particular details of that book, right? You are not going to be asked about summary. You are not going to be asked about the plot summary. Just make sure you understand, number one, what the author is saying, and then the own personal interpretation and analysis of the text. All right, and you can go online, search questions about the text, provide answers to them. But like I said, anytime you see a literature question, the first thing you want to do is to understand the question and what is actually being requested of you before jumping to the answers. And so if you can follow all the things that I've actually talked about, I can assure you that you're not getting anything less than 90 in your literature in English. Now pay attention to this: the theme, the character and characterization, the symbol, the imagery and the figurative devices, simile, metaphor, alliteration, personification, hyperbole, and the rest like that. Pay particular attention to them so that you know the correct usage of it. And I wish you success in your JAMB examination. Once again, I am Ayorinde Samson, reaching out to you from Illuminated Minds YouTube channel. I'll catch you later. Bye.